80% of my peers are actually saving for retirement, but unfortunately, 20% or 1 in 5 have absolutely nothing saved.
It's pretty dire, right? When you think about turning 50, hitting that threshold, hitting that mark, most people, if you're thinking about a normal retirement timeline, you're thinking about age 65. Well, by the time you get to 50, 65 isn't so close. I mean, it's not like right around the corner, but you can see it. You can see the landing approaching. And for folks who have done nothing, who have not prepared at all, I got to believe it's a pretty frightening and pretty scary experience to be in.
So that's why let's actually bring people to the bridge. And by the way, if you're younger than 50, which 87% of you are, because I went and pulled the stats this morning, still stick around because we got some great stats on how you can do this differently. You don't have to be the passive player in your own financial life and wake up when you're 50 plus and go, oh my gosh, how do I catch up? How do I actually make this work? So we're going to hit the pause button for you young people and just try to give some love to the people who are 50 and older to let them know, it's scary, but we still think there's some steps you can do. And then we're going to bring this back around and give you the motivation if you're under 50 so you don't have to be in this desperate situation in your future.
Yeah, there's some key takeaways we want you to be aware of. The first of which is if you're over 50, know that your dollars are still powerful. There's still a lot of ground that your dollars can cover from age 50 out to a normal retirement of age 65. Now, it may not be the same as your 20-year-old counterpart, but they can still work pretty hard for you.
Yeah, if you need to, don't skip out on our resources. Go to moneyguy.com/resources. We actually have a wealth multiplier calculator. I don't care what age you are, you can actually use this calculator and see how powerful every dollar in your army of dollar bills can be for you. And even tells you how much if you want to have $1 million, if you want to have $2 million, what do you need to be saving to actually make your money work harder than you can with your back, your brain, or your hands.
And here's what I love about this calculator. There's sort of a twofold thing you can do. Obviously, number one, you can put in here how much money you can save. Hey, if I save $10,000 this year, what can it turn into by the time that I retire? But the other thing that you can do, if you have saved something, now we know that 1 in 5 have nothing saved, but even if you've only saved $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, if you put that number into the Wealth Multiplier, it will show you without saving anything additional what you are on track for. So let this be some motivation. Let it be something that causes you to make that next right step toward a better financial future. So that's the first takeaway, is that your dollars are still powerful. The second one is there are still some tools at your disposal. Even if you are at age 50, it's not like there aren't levers that you can pull. And the first of which might be you may need to adjust your retirement timeline. Maybe age 65 full retirement is no longer the plan that makes sense for you. Maybe you have to work a little bit longer, or perhaps maybe when you retire, you ease into retirement and you have a pseudo retirement timeline that allows you to have a few additional years to save.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with if you go take a part-time job with benefits or you do something to kind of help offset so you're not pulling so much out of your portfolio before it has time to kind of reach that critical mass point. You can be creative. There are tools at your disposal that you can make work. The second thing, don't forget, there is a social safety net out there. Social Security. What I remind, because look, I don't think if you are somebody who's probably under 50, you probably have to be a little nervous about what does Social Security look for you. Are they going to add means testing?
Sure.
Are they going to change the structure? But I do think that it's probably reasonable to assume that if you're over 50 and beyond, they're not going to rip the carpet out from underneath you. So you probably do have some coverage that Social Security can cover some of your expenses in retirement.
And if you've heard like, okay, Social Security, it's confusing and there's all these different options, we have a great resource you can go check out. If you go to moneyguy.com/resources, we have sort of this Social Security checklist that kind of helps walk you through, when should I claim? Should I draw at 62 or should I wait until I'm age 70? How do I decide? What are the tripwires I need to be aware of? So if you are someone who's thinking about Social Security or wants to know how it works, make sure you check out this checklist so that it can be a resource to help you make those wise financial decisions.
And it's almost like our government recognizes that there's probably going to be a lot of people who wake up when they're 50 years old and go, holy cow, I need to be saving for retirement. This thing's right around the corner. And that's why we do have catch-up contributions. Look, they've even added, I don't even know if I'm going to get the language right, the Super Mama Jamma catch-ups
No,
that
I
they
think
have
that's
for
what
60-year-olds.
That was what was in the tax law, right? Super Mamma Jamma.
I mean, but that's what,
okay.
Right to me.
Let's go through this. If you are 50, it's the year you turn 50. With IRAs, whether it's Roth or traditional IRAs, you can make a bigger contribution.
Yep.
You know, there's all your 401k or
Yep.
your 403b. There are catch-up contributions once you hit that status. And now there's even, like I said, it was
From 60 to 63. You
so
get the
even if
super
you
catch-up.
defer even more, they're going to give you even more opportunities to catch up. Take advantage of those things. There's a reason the government's trying to give you tools to allow you to invest for yourself in making your great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
And then the last takeaway, and we just want you to think about this. If you're someone who is under 50, you're not here yet, don't let yourself be in this statistic of those 1 in 5 people who have saved nothing, because you still have time on your side. We say this all the time. The absolute best time to start saving and investing was yesterday. That means that the second best time to start saving and investing is today. So don't delay. You would be amazed at how powerful your dollars can be if you will just begin putting them to work.
And you get to choose your heart. Look, if you're starting out at 50, it's going to fall on your
be a little
discipline.
harder.
You're going to have to do more and more of the work. A lot of this weight falls on your shoulders. But if you're somebody watching this, and like I said, 87% of you guys are under 50 years of age. We looked at our demos. A lot of you, the lion's share of you, are still in your 20s. And if you look at that, I want you to understand, a 20-year-old has to work basically a quarter of the hard. It's a quarter of, it's 4 times harder if you start at 30 versus 20. If you are 40 years old, it is 10 times harder than the 20-year-old. So if you're somebody who's in your 20s, let that power of time do the heavy lift for you guys. You get to choose your heart. The earlier you start, the easier it is. You have to just defer a little bit of your happiness now to really build something magical. It's all about that incremental decision making.
And the sooner you figure this out, the more exciting it is. We talk about the Wealth Multiplier all the time. For a 20-year-old, $1 has the opportunity to turn into $88. For a 30-year-old, $1 can turn into $23. For a 40-year-old, $1 can turn into $7. So no matter how old you are, your dollars still have the ability to work for you. So make that small decision today if you can make small decisions, or maybe that big decision that you need to make so that you can start working towards your great, big, beautiful tomorrow.